Hello, my name is Darius Young, and welcome to Modeling Lucario Part 2. In this part, we will go over modeling the torso. So let's get started. So last time we left off, we had our cube at the bottom of our picture here in object mode. If you are not in object mode, just hit tab and you'll go right back to object mode. But we're not supposed to be in object mode right now. Just so that you can follow along with the tutorial, you can get a better sense of what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is hit tab to go into edit mode. And with this blue arrow here, we're going to click and drag it to move the cube up. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the last tutorial was to put our background images in front of our 3D object. So in order to do that, you see this word back here under the words opacity. Change this from back to front. So just click that like that, and now you can see that the background image is now you can see through the 3D object with the background image. So oh yeah, and if you see any like flashing of like my desktop, it's something going on with Blender or my computer. I don't know, but I've been trying to get it fixed, and it just hasn't been working out. And for some reason, it only does this when I'm on Blender, and so yeah. So I do apologize for that, but just bear with me because I've had to deal with it too. So yeah. Again, I do apologize, but we have to get this done. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit S and then X to scale this cube in. It's about there. And then hit 3 on our number pad. And then hit S and then Y to scale on the Y axis to about right there. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to have to add some edge loops in here to give this cube more shape. So hit Control R. And we're going to add, and you can add more edge loops by using your scroll wheel. So we're going to add about 5. And then hit Enter once and then hit Enter again. Or you can double click and you'll make those edge loops there permanent. Now hit Z to go into wireframe mode so that we can select vertices on both sides while just staying at one side. And what I mean by that is if I hit B for box select and click and drag over this vertice here, you'll see that both vertices are selected. So we're gonna start editing this. So what I'm gonna do is hit G for grab, and we can just move these around. In fact, I'm going to turn on my screencast keys, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now you guys should be able to better see exactly what I'm doing. So, again, we're going to start moving these forward to better match the background picture. Move this down here. The main keys I'm using to make these modifications are just G for grab, A to deselect. I'm not rotating anything or scaling anything at this particular point. I'm just moving things around. Okay, so just check. So, to continue editing these points, like I said, if you want a more in-depth beginner tutorial, because these tutorials are for beginners, yes, but they're for beginners that are somewhat used to Blender's interface and just want to further further improve their modeling skills. I do plan on doing a full beginner's course for Blender one of these days. But right now, I'm just trying to get what I want to put out there, because I've made my main focus is to show people how to make characters that no one else has ever shown people how to make. So, what I'm gonna do at this part here is select um, these two edges, and you can do that by, let me show you. So just by holding Alt and right clicking on the edge, and holding Shift, Alt, and right clicking, you can select two edges or an edge loop like that, which makes selecting things a lot easier. But what I want to do is hit X and then edge loops. So now that's just so this face is here, and I want to do that because of this part right here. You see, it goes down like that, and I want to emulate that in the geometry, because we are not going to be doing any like UV unwrapping for textures. We're just going to color it using the geometry, and so in order to do that, we have to match it up exactly, which is not difficult at all. So what I'm going to do now is hit Z, go back into wireframe mode, hit B for box select that, hit G to grab, and move it down here, left click to finish that selection, and then we're going to hit Control R to add another edge loop in here. So left click once, left click again, and now we have our edge loop in there. And hit A to deselect, B or box select, G to grab, left click, and do this with this one, B for box select, G to grab, left click to make permanent. Okay, so that is the right side in a bunch. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to extrude it all the way down here. So let's select these two edges. Okay, there we go. Something's wrong with my 3D view. Don't know what that was, but so yeah, like I was saying, extrude this to the bottom here. So just hit E and then Z to extrude this all the way down there. Okay, there we go. And that gives us the crotch area. So we can hit B for box select these two and bring it down like so. There we go. And B box select these other two, hit S and then X to scale it on the X axis and move it like so. There we go. And now it'll make things a heck of a lot easier when we're making the leg, because now when we'll get to the leg when we get to the leg, and I'll show you how to do that properly. So you don't have to worry about it right now. It's XX. Let's scale that down. Okay, but yeah. So let's finish this upper body here. So we need to add some edge loops in the on the side. Whoops, I didn't deselect those. Okay, there we go. Right. So right now we don't have any mirror modifiers on, so just select this entire ring of vertices and hit S and X to move those vertices into their proper location. Again, I'm really sorry if this flashing is annoying, because it's annoying to me too, but I don't know what to do to get rid of it, and I really am sorry if this is very distracting for you. But please, if you can, just bear with me. I'll try to have it fixed the next time I start a tutorial. But if I can't, you know, again, I'm sorry about that. Let's go here. Make sure I deselected everything. I think I did. Okay. Deselect, B for box select. So I want to add one more edge loop in here. Control R, left click once, left click again, SX. There we go. Alrighty. So now we have to add some depth to this character because technically he has depth right now, but if you look at him, he's just a block, really. And so to fix that, first thing I'm going to do is hit Control R in the middle and hit Enter twice to make a edge loop in the center. And then I'm going to hit Z to go into wireframe mode and B for box select. And select all the vertices on the right side, hit X, and then delete vertices. And then next go into your modifiers tab, which is over here with this blue monkey wrench. So you click the modifiers tab, click add modifier, and then click mirror. Then click clipping. And so now we only have to work on one side of the mesh. And to make life even easier, we're going to add an edge loop right here in the center. So left click once, left click again. And now to make it seem like he's not so square, you just hit select. So select this edge here with Alt and right click, and then hit G twice for edge slide, and you can move that in closer to this edge. And then if you hit G twice again for edge slide, you move these vertices back more. So we're going to do the same thing with these vertices. G twice for edge slide, and then G twice for edge slide again. And now he looks more circular, like a tube, which is what we're looking for. So that's perfect. And by doing so, we've added more vertices that we can work with. So just select these three vertices here, bring them down, say about right there, bring that down. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I say that sometimes the background images don't match up properly, and that is a fact for most background images. So if they don't match up right, don't fret. Just fix it up to the way you like it, and that'll be good enough. Just going to hit SX to scale this out. Now I'm going to hit Control R to add an edge loop in here. Okay, there we go. So let's hit Control R, left click once, left click again, S for edge loop. There we go. Okay, and then you just scale this. SX, scale that out just a little bit. Bring that up. Okay. Okay. And then we can just move this down to match that, and okay, that's good. So, that's that for that. That's that for that. Made no sense. Okay. So, next we have to do this part right here. And so, what we need are these vertices here. We're going to delete these two faces, so hit X and delete. Except of deleting faces, we're going to delete vertices though, and oh, that did a bit too much damage to the other part of the character. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this face right here, hit Shift D, and duplicate it, and bring it out here. And I'm going to match it with the background image. Control R, move that up twice. Let's go. Select these two. Bring it down. Select that one, move it up. Move that down. Select these two. Move those over. R for rotate. S to scale. Control R. Move that out. Move that out. Move that. Move that. I'm sorry, this is that flashing thing that I was telling you about. My computer, I don't know what is wrong with it. But, yeah. So, select this whole thing by hitting Control L if you already have a vertex selected. If not, just select the vertex on there, hit Control L, select everything. On the front view, move this back to about there. And hit E for extrude to bring that out. Then S to scale. R for rotate. G to grab. R for rotate a little bit more. Okay, good. Now, gonna hit Control R, add an edge loop once. Click again, hit Control B to bevel it, so we can have 2 edge loops in there now. And now I'm going to add edge loop in here. Left click twice, B to bevel that, so we get about right there. I'm going to hit Control Tab to go into face select mode, and I'm going to select all these faces in here, and then hit Alt O to turn off proportional editing, and then just hit S to scale. And I'm going to do the same thing in here. So just select a face and Control L, and then hit Control I, then H to hide all that, so that we can select these faces in here easier. Okay. Now hit Alt H to unhide that. Wait, no, don't hit Alt H yet. Scale this down first. Then hit Alt H. And then, there we go. So now select these 2 faces, hit Alt O to turn on proportional editing. G to grab. Move that inward some. Can move this in so that they match with the background image. And so what I'm going to do now is to Control R, add an edge loop in here, and smooth that out a bit more, that back, so it matches up with this more. I'm just going to move this in some, scale that down, G to grab, move this in, and probably move this out some. Move this out as well. We can move this up. We can also move these up. And there we go. And we can Control Tab to go into vertex select mode and start moving these vertices in and out individually to shape it better. Okay, so I need to move these up, to move this up, to move that up. Select all of these, G to grab, turn up proportional editing just a little bit, move these up. We're going to move that down. We're going to move this up. Now we're actually going to hit Control Tab, go into face select mode. Select all these. We're going to just hit C for paint select. And then right click out of that when you're done. And we're actually going to move these. Oops. We're going to actually move these. Come on. We're going to move these. We're going to hit G and then X and move these in. We're going to hit E for extrude and move those in even more. like that. We're going to hit S to scale, and then there we go. Alright, control tag, go on the vertex select these two, move them out, force no editing, there we go, there we go. Now that's looking better. Okay, okay. Alright, so now we have the upper body done. I just want to do one more thing and move these three vertices up because they're getting in the way. There we go. And maybe move them out as well. Let me just check. Okay, good. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do now is go to, I'm going to do is hit A, deselect, hit A to select everything, hit W, and then click Shade Smooth. And then to make this look even smoother, we're going to go to Add Modifier and go to Subdivision Surface. There we go. So now we've applied our Subdivision Surface modifier, and we have to fix stuff with the back. There we go. We can just move these out. There we go. So that is the torso, and the next part we will work on the legs. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe for more modeling Lucario tutorials, and I will see you all in the next video.